A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about Panchami Tithi, and we are going to see how Panchami Tithi behaves and what are its relationship struggles. So, before we begin, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your views and your suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do, and do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Let's begin with the Panchami Tithi. Panch means 5. So the 5th Tithi occurring either in the Shukla Paksh or the Krishna Paksh is known as Panchami. As I have always mentioned, in astrology we will invariably find deities. And how are these deities to be read? We would like to understand their characteristics and then we can incorporate it with the nature, with whatever that we are looking into of that person. Here, since we are talking about Tithi, which invariably talks about the wealth and the relationship quotient, so the nature of the deity is to be incorporated in the nature of the relationship as well as the wealth quotient. Here, as per Hora Ratna, the deity of Panchami Tithi is the Naga. We also celebrate Nag Panchami in India, let's not forget that. And when does that happen? That happens in the Shukla Paksh of the Shravan Mas. So for those people who are interested in knowing more about Nag Panchami, we do have a story about Nag Panchami, why it's celebrated, how did it come into existence on our Puranic podcast. Please go there, listen to it and subscribe to us on that channel also. As we move forward with the Panchami Tithi, we now know that the Nagas are the rulers of Panchami Tithi. How are they going to behave? Let's talk about certain qualities of the Nagas. Have you ever seen snakes talk? Not much. They keep quiet. So these people are silent. Silence gives us the power of observation, which the Nagas and people born in Panchami have. These people are also wealthy and quite intelligent, as they inherit that quality from the Nagas. These people are also very strong individuals in their own right and do not want to lose out on their identity. So this is one point where the relationship for a person can suffer because they have a very strong sense of individuality. The people born on Panchami have a very strong sense of business. And contrary to the belief that the snakes are not loyal, if you listen to the story that I told you is there on the Puranic podcast, you will know that some of the snakes which exist in our Puranas, say Vasuki or even the Sheshnaga, they're highly loyal to their masters. And so people born on Panchami Tithi can be very loyal at the cost of their own self to the people they love, to the people they are very much associated with through their heart and their minds. Also, these people have a lot of wealth in life. And which form of wealth will it come through? Again, if you look into deep into the Tithi of Panchami, it's also called the Purna Tithi. So, life will give them a lot of hard work through which they can attain a lot of accomplishments in life. Anything that they want to complete in life is possible for them. Anything that they want to, especially in terms of relationships and wealth, they will never lack in relationships and wealth. All they really need to be very clear about when talking about relationship is to not be very assertive of their individuality. Be more of a group person, which can be a little difficult for the snakes to be or the Naga to be. Now let's move on to the dagdarashis. What are the dagdarashis? In many videos I've told you what the dagdarashi is, but it always bears a small repetition. Dagdha means pain, it means burning. And it is only through our relationship that we learn how to move ahead in our karma, how to cross our karma. And what are the karmas that a person born specifically on a Panchami Tithi is likely to face? Where is it? So anywhere where the sign of Gemini and Virgo sits in your chart for you, those are the areas that you will feel a pain in. Those are the areas that you find a strong karmic connection, where a hurt will be experienced, where you would put in a lot but you may not, and in fact you will not get a lot in return from. So that is something you need to consider. It is more true for the Panchami Tithi. It works both ways, it's equal, but it is more true when these signs are not falling in 3, 6, 8, 12. Yes, that's the saving grace here. The signs 3, 6, 8, 12 are a saving grace in the dagdarashis, which I have mentioned in my videos. Apart from these 4 houses, wherever this falls, you will see it hurting you deeply. So this is the karma you have to face in your relationships, and the planets placed there will also tell you what it is all about. So you be ready about it. Now, what is it that is the remedial measure? Remedial is always chart specific. We cannot give remedies for all people on Panchami, just like one single dictum will not apply. People do write it to us and let us know that one single dictum does not apply. Yes, it does not, because there are many people, the chart is different and it will apply differently for different charts. So remedies are always chart specific. But one thing one can do for sure is not to feed the Nagas on Nag Panchami. You can check the internet, you can see that the Nagas or the serpents, the snakes, do not drink milk. In fact, excessive milk can kill them. So if you want not to have that Naga dosh in your chart, don't feed them milk at the very least. A rat would be more conducive. Just joking. So now let's move on to the planet associated with this Panchami. That's Jupiter. Jupiter is an expansive planet. So wherever Jupiter will sit, and because it's related to your wealth, it's related to your relationship, it's so much important that Jupiter be well placed, and then it will be able to give you a lot of wealth and a happiness and contentment, which are again the blessings of Jupiter in the relationship. That's how you need to talk about Panchami. A much detailed view can also be gone through when we put in a lot of planets that needs to be accessed, but we will save it for some other time. Understanding the basics now is more important. What is it that we need to consider here first and foremost when I am looking into a chart? First and foremost, when I am looking into this chart of a prominent ex-leader, that is Kumar Biswas. Kumar Biswas had been a part of AAP party in India and had worked a lot with the party for quite some period of time. So now what did Kumar Biswas do? He left the party. Why can we say that he left the party? The reasons are very obvious if you look into the chart. Where is the dagdarashi falling for him? The dagdarashi for him is falling in the 3rd house, the 8th house and the 11th house. I told you that the 8th house will not show much problem. Why will the 8th house not show much problem? The 2 negatives. As per Ayurji, who's been a very strong propagator of Panchang and one who has explained things very lucidly on Panchang, he's very clearly stated 2 negatives will cross out each other out. So 8th house supposedly being a bad house, with the Dagdarashi also being an evil sign to consider, they've crossed themselves out. But the 11th house is your house of gains. 11th house is your house of big parties, big associations. 11th house is your steady climb into recognition, name and fame. And 11th house, most importantly, is your fulfillment of desires. When that becomes the dagdarashi, on all counts such as these, you are highly compromised. He was a part of AAP. He wanted to be very steady on his principles. So there, on certain grounds of principles, he left the party. As a result, he could not progress much in politics, could not gain that kind of gainsay in life that he could have. Income was also not as that it could have been in politics. Apart from that, his desire to be a part of a political group could not be fulfilled. So, we see how Dagdarashi has worked. Now, if that Dagdarashi for any other person falls, say, in born on Panchami, if the person's Lagna, say, is in Sagittarius, then it is falling, the Panchami here would come under, Dagdarashis would come under the 7th and the 10th houses. And what would happen then? Let us know what you think in the comment box. Just a hint, the 7th house is your public standing and the 10th and your partners, and your 10th house is your political or your career, your aspirations, the what you want to do in your job. Would it be stable? Would it be firm? How is a person going to handle? And what is the lesson that the person has come to learn in this lifetime? So for past life also, we can say that these are the lessons that you need to understand from the Dagdarashi that you've come to know in your lifetime. Okay, so now let's look into his Jupiter. What is Jupiter telling us? Jupiter is telling us that his Jupiter being placed in the 12th house. 12th house is also international name and fame. But how is he going to get that international name and fame? Because Jupiter is also the ruler of 2nd house and it is also the ruler of the 5th house. So, how is Jupiter going to give you that international name and fame? Jupiter is going to give you that international name and fame through your knowledge. It is also going to give you the international name and fame through how you portray yourself, or how you process your knowledge, make it into an intellect and put it in front of the crowds. And he is supposed to be a great orator and has a different way of thinking about the Ramayana and Mahabharata, the Bhagavad, and he has been steadily making a great name, progress in that direction. So we see how these planets together can give us a lot of information on what is your prarabdha, or rather which relations will make you suffer as they come from a past life. Now, would you want to know an interesting thing? It is the second lord of voice, your thought process, your speech, which is placed in the 12th house of Swati, in Swati Nakshatra, in Libra. It means that it gives you, Jupiter gives you a booming voice, a voice that is carried loud and far and can be heard. And that's exactly how he earns his name and fame and money from being recognized, not just in his own country, but even abroad. Do write to us. Let us know how your Panchami Tithi is working and how does the planet Jupiter bring prosperity and name and fame in your life. Till we meet with you again,
Please
stay
hit the
safe.
bell icon
Thank
for
you.
fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.